Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Newberg, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity ending this past Sunday, September 11th. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, as I always do, go through the info with you. So we'll first off look at active listings. I showed we had 15 properties come on the market last week in Newberg, which you kind of see is kind of close to a high for the last 8 weeks. Certainly up a lot from last week where we had only 7. End of the week with 75 homes actively on the market in Newberg, and that's down 1 from the prior week. The median list price and the days on market for the active listings, you can kind of see outside of a couple weeks here where we had a little blips. It's been right at 590,000. It returned to that level this last week, down from the 613 from the week prior. And days on market it continues to be, certainly higher than what it was in the past. Had a low of 23 days 8 weeks back, and got up to 52 2 weeks ago. This last week fell back just a day to 51. So things are certainly hanging on the market longer than what we've experienced here in the recent past. Moving along to pending sales. Last week I showed we had 11 pendings in Newberg, down just 1 from the prior week, but close to the top of the range of kind of where it's been over the past 8 weeks here. End of the week was 62 homes in total in pending status, up from 57 a couple weeks prior to that. The median price and days on market information for the pendings, that's been pretty steady as well, except for one blip here 3 weeks back, right at 500,000. This last week got up to 508, and then days on market, you can kind of see that's starting to rise as well. Homes that are getting into pending are certainly kind of staying on the market a little longer, and we were riding right around 2 weeks of market time, and now we're getting close to almost close to 4 weeks of market time for something on average to get pending in Newberg. And lastly here, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together, I show we only had 4 homes cross over from pending to sold this last week in Newberg. So a slow week in terms of closings. It's a low for the 8 weeks, as you can kind of see here. And when I look over the last 4 weeks of activity on a weekly basis, I kind of show that we had 46 closings over the prior 4 weeks. That's down from 53 the week prior, kind of in the middle of kind of where it's been over the past 8 weeks, as you can kind of see here. And then the median price and the days on market for the solds, that has been kind of coming down. It was a high of 538,000 7 weeks back. And the last 3 weeks has been holding pretty steady at right at 467,000. And days on market, that's elevated as well. Had a low of 4, got up to 14. It's come back a little bit. This last week, kind of the reading was 10 days of average market time. And then finally, weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. So weeks of inventory is the red bars. You can kind of see we started off at 8 weeks of inventory, got up to just under 10 weeks, and it has come down from then. We got down to a little under 6 weeks of inventory. This last week popped up to about 6.5 weeks of inventory, so not a big change. And then the sale price as a percent of the list, again, I've been kind of mentioning this last few weeks here. These numbers are a little low in the fact that there's a couple listings that sold significantly under the asking price, which is kind of dragging this average down. This last week it came in at 96%. If those few listings were taken out of the bunch there, it'd be, I think, around closer to 98 and a half. So certainly it's kind of come down from where it was. Things are certainly not selling for full price as much as they were, but still fairly close to it. So with 6.5 weeks of inventory and the majority of homes selling for close to asking price, we're still definitely kind of in a seller's market. Just one that's kind of a moderation phase here, certainly from kind of where it's come from over the past over this course of this year so far. So So hope this weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. So if it has, please always appreciate any likes, comments, shares that you have. If you're watching this update on YouTube and if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and allow you to kind of follow along with what's happening on a weekly basis in your local market. So as always, if I can answer any questions or be of any help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My number is 503-680-2065. And I always appreciate you watching. Hope you have an awesome day and week ahead.